G'day, welcome to today's lesson. Today I want to cover the idea of how you as a leader provide psychological safety to those around you, those people that you lead. Why is psychological safety so important? Essentially, psychological safety enables people to take those risks and to be their better selves. You don't want your team to be shying away from doing some of their best work. So here's some simple steps you could take. One of the first steps as a leader you want to take is focus on their needs. What do they actually need? Too often as leaders we walk into a situation and we make assumptions about what we feel our followers need, but we don't check in with them. How would they like to receive feedback? How do they want to be measured around their success? Do you know those things? Have you asked those questions? Seek that feedback. The next step you want to have and employ is a sense of curiosity, understanding different perspectives. You want to encourage that input and seek that understanding. But with that, you also want to be able to promote healthy conflict. Now that requires a leader to have strong interpersonal skills. There's nothing wrong with a little bit of a healthy debate. That's your healthy conflict. We may all come at these things and the problems we have of this world with different ideas and different perceptions. And so with that, we're going to have a little bit of conflict, perhaps. But through that conflict, we can create some new ideas. And with that, as you enable that conflict, you want to give voice to your followers. Enable dialogue around the problems you're trying to solve. Now, this is going to sound simple, but at the end of the day, you want to build trust with your followers. You need to earn it. What are the things that you do to earn that trust? As a leader, what you want to focus on is effectiveness. This is not just simply about the efficiency of which your team go about the work that they do. That's important. But however, if we give a focus to that, we reduce the trust that they place in you as a leader. When we focus on effectiveness, what we focus then on is some of the barriers that you might want to remove that are stopping your team from doing their best work. Maybe there's some cultural barriers, some communication barriers, and we're certainly seeing that and experiencing that as we move into more online presence, working together collaboratively over the internet. And what we then want to do is, as you build those things, as you walk through those steps, is you want to engage creative thinking. And that means not just simply coming up with new ideas, but risky ideas. How do you encourage risk? Do you enable your followers to take risk? That in itself is a way you can build their psychological safety. If I feel safe as you as a leader, then I'm willing to then take a risk on a few ideas. Because I know that as a leader, you're going to help me to learn and to grow through those risks that I choose to take. Now, there's three things to consider as we want to build trust as a leader. Firstly, there's the follower. How willing are they to place trust in you, or trust in any leader for that sake? Understand that followers have a relationship with their past, which they bring into your relationship. And if they've unfortunately had a bad experience of a leader in the past, they may just simply find it more difficult to trust you now as a leader. And that's where you want to have those conversations. The second part of that is then, how do you as a leader demonstrate your trustability? What do you do to be able to be trusted? Do people look to you and go, yeah, hey, there's a guy I can trust, or there's a girl I can trust, or there's someone out there that does the actions that they said they would do. I can place my trust in that person. The third thing, and the third factor of that is we may have the follower, we may have the leader, but we also have to think about the context. When we think about the context, what we see is that trust is enabled when we understand the context that's going on. For example, if you were to go to the doctors and you're not feeling well for whatever reason, you're going to trust your doctor to give you sound medical advice because they're trained to do so. What you're not going to trust in them is if they start to give you financial advice, because that's not what you're trusting them for. So then, in that sense, what is your context right now? What is the things that followers are looking to you as a leader that you need to be speaking into? How can you encourage that trust in your team? And how are you taking steps to build their psychological safety in order that they can do their best work? I want to encourage you as a leader to think about these things. There's also a 14-day leadership reflective tool which I've designed, which enables you to ask some deeper questions about how you're leading and what's going on in your own context that you might enable better leadership. I want to encourage you as you grow and stretch yourself in this current challenging time. Have a great day.